So my name is Jasmine. I'm one of the senior career consultants here at the Learning People. I've been here for many years now. I've helped thousands of people into various roles throughout the IT industry. Absolutely love what we do here. Today, for International Women's Day, we're hosting this webinar to highlight the demand for women in tech, as well as recognise the brilliant work that they do. We are joined by one of my lovely students, Bruna, who's now working within cybersecurity. So we'll hear a little bit more about her story later on. But we're also joined by Robin from our career service department, who will also talk you through their support program and helping you into the industry once you've trained with us. So today you'll have a full 360 understanding of what it is we do here, from consultation, studies, career service, and also a student's perspective as well. So to give you a better understanding of what we do here, the Learning People are an online education provider that specialises in career-ready education. We work very heavily with complete career changes. We do also work with industry professionals that are looking to progress throughout their careers within tech. But our aim is to not only close the huge skills gap, but also the gender gap that exists within the IT industry. We believe a diverse workforce means more innovation, better ideas, smarter solutions, and women have some really great skills to bring to the industry, whether that be creativity, emotional intelligence. We're creative thinkers. We think quite differently to men sometimes. So having that balanced opinion can really help businesses make best decisions. But currently, there's only about 25% of the tech industry that are women, which I find crazy every single time I think about it. But we're seeing an increasing amount of women entering roles in IT, and especially myself working at the forefront of business, consulting with individuals daily. I mean, when I first started here, it was about 1 in 10 of my students were female, and now you're looking at about 1 in 4. So we're definitely heading in the right direction, but we obviously need to continue to push on this. Obviously, the more women that get certified, the more women that start working within the industry, we will inspire younger females who are interested in tech, and we'll begin to get rid of that stigma around women working within this sector. So your journey as a student here at the Learning People would start with a consultation with a consultant like myself. So we would get a good understanding of your skills, experience, education, goals, what kind of needs that you have from your career moving forward. I'm probably giving Bruna some flashbacks right now to last February, but it's important that you do have a consultation to make sure that we're going to be moving you into the right areas of the industry. It's to make sure that it's going to be a job that you'll enjoy. It's obviously going to be ticking all of those career needs for you. And there are so many different roles that you can work in. And there is a lot of conflicting information online, especially as a career changer. It can be very daunting understanding what is going to be right for you. And something that we really focus on in the consultation is looking at those transferable skills that you would have from previous employment. Majority of my students will come from retail, hospitality, admin, care work, and something that all of these jobs have in common is that they all have really brilliant communication with others. They've got a good experience from communication skills, and that's something that hiring managers within the IT sector are screaming out for. And I know that that's something that career service will vouch for as well. So I'll pass over to Robin, so she can talk a little bit more about the career service element with us.
Thanks, Jasmine. So yeah, I'm Robin. I'm one of the career services consultants. I'm based out of the Dublin office. I'm with Learning People about 2 years now, and prior to that, I was working in tech recruitment. But us as career services, our purpose is to support Learning People students to help you become job ready, be able to navigate the job market and navigate that career change if applicable. So we've designed a 3-phase process which we guide students through to facilitate that. Phase one, the focus of it is to build your professional brand. Okay, so how to effectively present yourself as an IT professional and be able to stand out against the competition, which is really a huge half of the battle when looking for employment, and particularly as a career changer, knowing what to do, where to start. So we give you an awful lot of guidance on researching so that you can identify the right role for you based off your transferable skills, like Jasmine mentioned, guidance on updating your CV, updating your LinkedIn, and creating an effective cover letter. Once we've gone through that one-to-one consultation process to achieve that, we then progress you to phase two, which is all about being out in the market, right? Showcasing your brand as an IT professional, becoming a credible candidate. So we give you guidance on applying for jobs, approaching employers directly, how to work with recruiters, how to build a network of contacts. This is absolutely pivotal when career changing, and particularly into IT. So we teach you how to both identify and engage with industry professionals with the aim of learning from them, because the more you learn about the industry, the better position you're then in to navigate it. And another reason why we massively promote networking is that it's the key way to uncover what we call the hidden job market. So what a lot of people might not be aware is those job boards where you go on to click apply, they actually only represent 30% of available opportunities. So with our support, at least you will be able to access the full job market, and we'll help you balance that approach for your best success. Our phase 3 process is completely focused on interviewing, and like that, myself and others on the team, we have technical recruitment experience, so we've got a good idea of what you're coming up against in those technical interviews, which is definitely can be quite overwhelming as a career changer. I'm sure Bruna can attest to that as well, definitely. But overall, you receive one-to-one tailored and impartial support on anything that falls under the careers umbrella, and the support is available to you all the way up until you start your new role. And an interesting statistic, actually, right, you know, to toot our own horn here, right, and we are all women on the career services team. We're a fully women team, so big up with that. But we also have a success rate of 97% of students who have completed all 3 phases of career services have landed new roles in their desired field.
Yeah, that's an amazing statistic. Thank you so much, Robin, to give us a bit more of a background on what you guys do. It's a big part of what we do here, so it's fantastic. I'll also hand over to Bruna now so we can hear a little bit more about her story. I mean, me and Bruna first spoke back in February last year, and she has done amazingly with her study. She's now working as an information security analyst. So, Bruna, can you tell us a little bit more about your career journey to date so far?
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. Thank you very much for the Learning People. And I really appreciate all these paths. So my career is like, it's exactly what you said, Jasmine. I come from the hospitality industry. I had a pretty stable job, working 10 years for the same company. And it was very overwhelming, but it was something that I really like and I enjoy doing. Then came the pandemic, and unfortunately, the company went to the administration. Because of the overwhelming, because in hospitality, it's something that it was a manufacturing juice company working 6 days of the week and being like 24 hours for 6 days. So sometimes, you know, you never have hours for anything. And I had a senior position as a manager. And yes, of course, I thought before in changing career, but I never took it. I was accommodated. It was very easy. I knew very well what I was doing. I had a great relationship with the owners. When came the pandemic, the company went into the administration. I took a step back and I said, okay, that's my moment to think what I want to do, what I'm going to do as a new career, because I really wanted to change. But honestly, I didn't know where to go. You know, it's not that specifically I thought, oh, I'm going for IT. My husband come from IT area. He works in cybersecurity. So I did have a knowledge. It was something that I liked, but I never thought, okay, I'm going to straight away. So honestly, I took like a month thinking, oh, I'm going to do accounts or I'm going to do IT. I didn't know. And suddenly one day I received an email from Learning People. That's how I came. The first contact with you guys was because I received an email, probably because I was looking for jobs. Yes, of course, I was looking hospitality, or, I was head of commercial before. So I was probably doing a few searches around, and that's when landed this first email. And then I took a step back, and I remember talking to my husband, look, how he's interested, because it was a cybersecurity one, be a cybersecurity, and it's something that I like it. And I said, you know what? Oh, look, I can do it. And maybe I think I can do it. And then when I first approach the Learning People, because there are others on the market after, I have seen a few others on the market, but I think the way you approach, the way I receive the email and the information I receive it opened my eyes, because honestly, I didn't know where to start. Even if I think, oh, I'm going for IT, but how I'm going to start? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? I didn't know. And I didn't have any support or anyone, guiding me in what to do. So that's when I decided to go for IT.
And did you find your consultation quite a vital part of your journey in kind of understanding and making that decision with what you needed to do?
For sure. I remember, as you mentioned, we talked in February, and you had a lot of questions for me. And I thought that it was interesting to make sure that I knew what I was going to, and if that was the right path. So you opened my eyes to say, look, that's what you expected. That's what you have to do. You needed to study this, and that. You needed to do these certifications to be able to get where you want to go. When you get it there, yes, we have the career services. So on the first moment, I didn't know what Learning People had to offer. Okay, but being through the whole process, because on the first moment, okay, I'm going to get my certifications. But being true to the whole process and having after the career service, when I finished my certifications, and it was amazing. It was great.
It's definitely important, isn't it, when it comes to understanding.
I needed to walk. Okay, sorry. Oh,
Your light's gone off.
the light went off and it's not turned on. Can you still see me well? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can still see you clearly.
I'm sorry for that.
No,
it is right. If you can see that it's live and I'm here, but without lights.
We can see you, don't worry. And what was it that made you choose us as a learning provider, Bruna, when you were kind of in your decision-making phase?
My decision was that you gave me the right path, what I had to do, and talking to you, and then you explain what the support, the student care support, that they would be there, anything you need, because you also have the mentors, which I think it's great, because when you are studying and when it's something new, you do have a lot of technical questions, or it's something that, I cannot see because we are talking about virtual something, So it is great to have the mentor. I had my personal mentor at home, so I was going to my husband, for a lot of things. But at the same time, you have the student team, and I was emailing Greg, Johan, and quickly get an answer in 1-2 hours. They were with Bruna, you need to do this, you need to study this book, because they are extra. It's not only see the models, but study and do the extra, So, and you pointed me for the right things that I had to do, which I didn't know. That one day to do security, I had to study Plus, and I needed to know network. Okay, so the difference, let me just mention, I know someone that work in security and try to do the security certificate straight away without doing A+ and network, and took this person 1 year to get the security plus. And in 1 year, I did 4 certifications, because I did the A+, I did network, security, and after security, I was able to get to the cloud as well.
And this is something that we speak to students about all the time, is them kind of wanting to take that shortcut by starting with Security Plus, for example. But that just shows you how important it is to take it from the basics and build yourself up step by step. And then you're confident as well in what you do. And that is really, really important for sure. So that's good to hear. And now you're working as an information security analyst. What does your day-to-day look like?
So I think as information security, one of the, when you think in a company, the most important, I think it's not one of them, we would say that the most important that the company has is their data. So we work together with IT, and we are part of the IT team, making sure that we secure our data. So we work, for example, sometimes simple things. We start with education and awareness program. So monthly we send, because we know after studying, you think, oh, that's easy. It's so many people, they don't know. They have no idea what it's, why do I need a long password? It's simple long password, you know? So we try to educate them. So we give, for example, tips, and we inform them about what is safe to do and what they should not do. You know, when they are working from home, don't use a public Wi-Fi. So simple things. Okay. We also do phishing campaigns. We educate the users to recognize when it looks like a phishing email, to not click on the link. And we go a little bit farther. For example, our data needed to be compliant with GDPR. And we need to make sure, for example, that all the areas have a data protection impact assessment done. That it's another thing that we work together as well. We also look at policies. You know, it is a lot of governance involvement. So we look at all the policies, incident response in case of, you know, so we are prepared. Even if it's a business continuity, we are prepared on all the sites. You know, make sure that all the areas are following the policies. User are, you know, following the policies, not download an app that they shouldn't, and those things. We are also doing assessments with, for example, is a new supplier or a third party or is a cloud. So we do assessments, impact assessments on how our data will be processed, if there's any risks or anything involved. And to do all these, you need to have, even if I'm not there and I'm not a SOC analyst analyzing the traffic, you know, that you kind of learning doing security in part, which is important. But we all, when we have meetings and, oh, we are talking about something, I know what they're talking about because we learn in security or we learn in network. You know, security we use a lot, but in the end we use network a lot because everything is security network. Yeah, and we are the area that is responsible to get the certification. So, for example, we are looking at Cyber Essentials at the moment and working towards ISO. So we needed to work with IT. So we are very together and involved in this area, and working with all the departments as well, and bringing all this data together, make sure that it's safe, you know, and there's no impact in anything. But at the same time, if anything happen, we have all the playbook that it needed to run and everything that we are going to do as an incident response or continuity plan.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a lot to do on a daily basis. It keeps it
exciting.
exciting.
Oh, look, we don't have a routine, you know, we don't. And we try to play because a lot of things, it's not straightforward. It's not that you sort, because before in my area in hospitality, you have a problem, I have to sort out in half an hour, you know, and now no. And some things take time because we needed to patch something, you needed to, so yeah, it is a lot of things, but it's a great journey.
Yeah, I suppose it's almost, even though it's important, it's less pressure than it would be in hospitality, where you have to deal with it there and then. You have got that time and you can take a few hours or days if you need to, which is
yes. And you have a time to think. Like, for example, I was just preparing this morning education and awareness program, and I was thinking maybe we should work with, you know, HR and do an induction when we have the induction for new employees, and, you know, and explain to them what's the cyber codes we have in the company, because everyone is start and they don't know simple things like, I'm going to download my work email on my mobile. No, you cannot. But they think they can. So it's educating them, you know, working together with them.
Yeah, it sounds great. And I know this is something we touched on quite recently, actually, about transferable skills, but was there any transferable skills that you found useful when you were moving into this position?
Yeah, that is for sure. I think that's two things I can relate to get this job. It was one, when my current manager saw all my certifications, and from the tiny being that I was able to get there, and he was very wow, like it was a wow factor. Oh, you did it. And what helped me a lot on this search, and it was, I never thought about it, that was robbing a recommendation, all these skills that you can transfer from your previous job. Because I was working with policy, for example, my previous job, and now I am working here. Or I was working, for example, I was a manager, and I was dealing with a lot of crises and managing throughout the pandemic. People imagine that one day I got to work and people say, oh, I don't want to come to work, I'm scared, I'm going to die, and you needed to know the company needed to continue. Let's sit down and talk everyone, let's motivate it. So this bring, I think, a different view, a different approach in dealing with stakeholders that you have on the company. And let's say that more than 50% of me getting this job, it was transfer skills that I was able to prove to my current manager that I had, and that could bring you on to this new job.
That's great. And that goes again from, I suppose, starting from the basics and building up and showing that you have all of that understanding and actually being able to prove it to them. It's all good having the qualification, but being able to show that you've got those skills from previous work and also from understanding the basics, that is really important as well.
Exactly.
And as a female, as a woman, was there any specific challenges that you found or successes that you found when it came to finding employment?
I think I work with a lot of skill men. Okay, it is still a dominate man area. I think just IT here, it's more than 90% they are men. And to be a woman, I feel like, at least on my experience working here, it's been great. I don't see discrimination. I don't see, like, they are super open-minded, because they are saying we need more women. We want to hire more women, but we don't find CVs. People like women don't apply for it. And it is confidence. You need to build, to believe in yourself that you can do it. And we are trying to close this gap. And I'm even we have a group inside the company, and I want to be on the gender gap group, because we want, and we are working together to be able to hire more women. The only thing I think that it's maybe a challenge is, I have a family and I have kids. So, for example, okay. And so far, everyone is super understandable that, okay, kids are sick, I may have to work from home on that day, because at the moment we still work 4 days in the office. That's the company policy, and they want us to be in the office. But I know, and I have contact with other women that had this problem, because, for example, the management didn't have kids, so they don't know and they don't have an idea how to deal with that situation. So it is still a work in progress, but I think that's the main issue. Because I think most of the men, they are the breadwinners of the house, so for them to start work at 7 a.m. and work until 7 p.m., it is normal. But for us, no. You need to I need to pick up the kids from school, and then I can finish working from home. I'm not going to, it's not going to interfere with my job. I'm going to deliver everything I have to deliver at the time I need it to. I'm not just going to spend 12 hours in the office because today I cannot. Maybe tomorrow I can. There are days you can, there are days you cannot. So I think that this balance that just the men need to understand more. They still don't understand that.
Definitely. I think as there are more women working within the industry, that's something that they will begin to understand eventually, is needing that flexibility. But it sounds like they're being fairly accommodating already, which is really, really good to hear. My partner's the same. He works in IT. He works as an IT support specialist, and we have a puppy. So his work, not that it's the same as a kid, but it feels like it sometimes. They are fairly flexible with him needing to be at home and work from home. So yeah, it's good to see the flexibility. What
Yes.
advice would you give for someone looking at changing their careers and moving into tech?
It's, I think one of the main things is to be persistent. Okay. I had my path, and of course you have doubts on the way. Oh, it's hard. For example, on the first exam, you go there knowing the A+, super enthusiastic, and then it's a hit on your face because it's so difficult, and you don't pass on the first because you think you're going to pass. You know, you studied a lot, and then you don't pass. You say, "Oh, I cannot do that." Yes, you can. You know, be persistent. Don't give up. You know, I thought as well, oh, I'm not going to make. I don't think I did the right thing, and in the end, it pay off. You know, of course, it's not easy. It is a lot of studying, but don't give up. And the only other thing that I say is this career, it's not a career that you are going to study, pass your certification, get a job, and that is done. You know, it's something that you will keep learning new things all the time. I finished my 4th certificate, and I was talking to Jasmine last week because I want to do another one, you know, and that's what you need, because there's always new threats on the market, and there's always new improvements. It's an area that it's growing so much. There's so much potential, and it's something that you can easily see yourself in 10, 20 years, because this is just growing. You know, so, but the thing is that, yeah, you will be studying, you will be learning all the time. So you must like this. You should like really, if you enjoy and you think that it's for you, you know, don't be persistent.
Definitely. I think you're a prime example of, I mean, working hard, you will reap the rewards from doing that. And it's really, really great to see. And I think, especially if you've been out of education for so long, it's going to take time to get yourself into, you're going to be learning how to learn again. You've got to get yourself into that flow. Your first exam, you don't really know what to expect. So yeah, there may be kind of blocks along the way, but like you say, as long as you work hard and you're determined, you can definitely achieve it. So it's fantastic.
That's true.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to hear from you and about your story and helping inspire others as well. I think it's really powerful to be able to see people that have gone through the training, that are now working within the industry, and hearing their stories. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
I can only say, just to close, I think this is really, of course, my opinion, and everything that I said here, like on my side. Robin was great and amazing all the time throughout doing my CV and everything. I really, really recommend, and I'm thankful for all the support and help I had. And I wish I had been here and doing this a long time ago, you know, because I am super happy and doing great. I'm really loving my new area.
Well, thank you so much. That's really great to hear.
It was a pleasure working with you, Bruna. Thank you. And I think Bruna's been a little bit modest, right? I want to just add in just a little bit more detail about like her journey. So you talked a lot about persistence, Bruna, and like I'm not sure I've ever worked with anybody as enthusiastic, but like what people don't realize is that Bruna and I were only working together for 3 months. And within those 3 months, she received 2 job offers on the same day. And one of which the company actually said, listen, we are so impressed with you. We are cancelling all other interviews. Please join us. And it's your enthusiasm and your persistence that definitely got that. But like that, it's a clear example that anyone here in this meeting today could do the same. But like that, you've just got to do that first step. Isn't that like, Bruna, you're saying, I wish I'd done it sooner?
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
But big round of applause to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know we've had a few questions come in as well. I think, Robin, there was a couple for you. So one of them was from Jane. She said, I need to be able to balance work and family life. What are the opportunities like for flexible work?
Brilliant, right? Yeah, so I think we've touched on this a little bit today, but if you're looking for a flexible kind of working environment, you're probably not going to get more flexible than IT, right? Or if you're looking for remote working, doesn't really get much better than IT, because it's actually IT that's made every other industry been able to be remote. So they're the most au fait with it and have the most appreciation for it. Like, what I find is that most places will work to what suits your work-life balance. You know, there's a lot of hybrid working going on. Like, if you're looking for fully remote, it's quite likely that that will be accommodated. But if you'd like a mix, we're finding that that tends to be quite the norm at the minute. But it probably is as flexible as humanly possible within the IT sector.
I definitely agree. There was another question as well from Frashali. They said, I want to start my career in IT after a gap of many years. Is this possible?
Yes, definitely. You just have to start. That really
Simple
is the
answer.
only thing, because you're going to be viewed from an IT perspective, you're going to be viewed from when you've started your training. And you'll pull your transferable skills from beforehand, but yeah, you're just missing the first step right now. That's all you're missing.
Definitely having that conversation, and I mean, speaking to someone about it is that first step, and that's all you need really to have a better understanding and know what it is you need to do. And that kind of goes from the next questions for me as well. It says, how do I know where to start in terms of training and making sure that a career in cybersecurity is right for me? And yeah, that's to have a consultation. It is the easiest way to have an understanding. As I said before, there is a lot of conflicting information online. So speaking to a professional that can break it down exactly what it is you need to do, so you can have then a good understanding of the job roles that you'll also be going into, that is the best way you can do it. And it's free. So it's just advice. It's the best way to go about it. But yes, that's all the questions. Well, thank you very much for everyone joining today, and especially Bruna and Robin as well. It's been great to hear from you both. And happy International Women's Day as well.